Shaq, a name we all know and love, but just how dominant was Shaq? Before the glitz, glamour, and championships, Shaquille Rashawn O'Neal's journey began in the humble streets of Newark, New Jersey. Born on March 6, 1972, Shaq grew up with an immense physical stature, but also faced challenges that would shape his resilience and character. Shaq's family moved frequently due to his stepfather's military career, eventually settling in San Antonio, Texas. It was here that Shaq's basketball journey truly took off. At Cole High School, Shaq was a man amongst boys, standing 6'10" by his sophomore year. He led Cole to a staggering 68-1 record over 2 seasons, including a state championship. His blend of size, agility, and raw talent made him a force to be reckoned with, catching the attention of college scouts across the nation. Shaq chose Louisiana State University, LSU, for his college career, and he did not disappoint. Under the guidance of Coach Dale Brown, Shaq's game evolved at LSU. He was not just a towering presence, but an all-around athlete with incredible footwork and basketball IQ. Over 3 seasons, Shaq averaged 21.6 points, 13.5 rebounds, and 4.6 blocks per game. His dominance was recognized with multiple accolades, including the Adolph Rupp Trophy in 1991, as the nation's best player. At LSU, Shaq's electrifying style brought fans to their feet and made him a household name. Analysts marveled at his unique combination of brute strength and finesse, and it was clear that he was destined for greatness. Shaquille O'Neal left LSU as a legend, ready to conquer the NBA. The stage was set for one of the most extraordinary careers in basketball history.
With the first pick in the 1992 NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic selects Shaquille O'Neal from Louisiana State University.
In 1992, Shaquille O'Neal's NBA journey began when the Orlando Magic selected him with the first overall pick in the NBA Draft. For the new franchise, Shaq's arrival marked the dawn of a new era. Shaq's rookie season was nothing short of spectacular. He averaged 23.4 points, 13.9 rebounds, and 3.5 blocks per game, earning him the NBA Rookie of the Year award. But more than the numbers, it was his sheer presence that transformed the Magic from bottom dwellers to playoff contenders. Shaq's combination of power and agility left fans and analysts in awe. He wasn't just a player, he was a spectacle. His backboard-shattering dunks became legendary, forcing the NBA to reinforce hoop systems nationwide.
Puts it on the floor. Hey, it starts, and he brought it down! He brought the whole goal down! Goodness.
Right behind me is the new structure that they are rolling in. They are going to replace the entire structure because of the Shaq attack on the last rim.
In his second season, Shaq's partnership with Penny Hardaway took center stage. Drafted in 1993, Penny was a versatile guard with exceptional court vision and scoring ability. Together they formed one of the most electrifying duos in NBA history. The Shaq-Penny duo reached their peak in 1994-1995 season. Behind Shaq's dominance in the paint and Penny's dynamic playmaking, the Magic won 57 games and secured a top seed in the Eastern Conference. In the playoffs, they achieved what many thought impossible, defeating Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls.
It's the lead with 18 and 1/10 seconds to play. And Jordan spinning his way against Anderson. Here comes Hardaway.
Although Jordan had just returned from his first retirement, beating him in the playoffs was a monumental achievement. It solidified the Magic as legitimate contenders and further elevated Shaq's growing legacy. The Magic advanced to the NBA Finals, facing the Houston Rockets. Led by Hakeem Olajuwon, despite Shaq's impressive performances, the Magic were swept in 4 games. It was a harsh lesson for the young team. Despite the finals loss, Shaq's individual brilliance continued to shine. Over his 4 seasons in Orlando, he averaged 27.2 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 2.8 blocks per game. His dominance in the paint made him a nightmare for opposing defenses. However, cracks began to form. Penny's injuries and mounting frustration with the management led to tension. Meanwhile, Shaq's free agency loomed large. In 1996, after a disappointing playoff exit, Shaq made a decision that would change the course of NBA history forever. In the summer of 1996, Shaquille O'Neal made a seismic move that would alter the landscape of the NBA, signing a 7-year, $121 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Shaq arrived in Hollywood as the centerpiece of the team, desperate to return to its championship glory. The Lakers had a rich legacy, but it had been years since their last title. With Shaq's arrival and the drafting of a young, ambitious Kobe Bryant, the foundation was set for something special. Shaq's first few seasons in Los Angeles were marked by undeniable talent, but also growing pains. While he dominated the paint, averaging over 26 points and 11 rebounds per game, the Lakers couldn't break through in the playoffs. Critics questioned whether Shaq could carry a team to a title, especially as the shadow of Michael Jordan still loomed over the league. The pieces began to fall in place in 1999 when Phil Jackson, the mastermind behind the Chicago Bulls dynasty, became the Lakers head coach. Jackson's implementation of the triangle offense unlocked Shaq's full potential, turning him into an unstoppable force at the heart of the system. Shaq's dominance reached its apex during the 1999-2000 season. He averaged a staggering 29.7 points, 13.6 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game, earning him his first MVP award, but it was in the playoffs where he truly cemented his legacy. In the 2000 NBA Finals against the Indiana Pacers, Shaq was simply unstoppable. He averaged 38 points and 16 rebounds per game, leading the Lakers to their first championship since 1988. In earning Finals MVP honors, Shaq had silenced the doubters. The Shaq-Kobe duo was the stuff of legends. While Shaq ruled the paint, Kobe's scoring prowess and defensive tenacity made the Lakers an unstoppable force. Together, they achieved basketball immortality. From 2000 to 2002, the Lakers captured 3 consecutive NBA championships, becoming one of the most dominant teams in history. Shaq's Finals MVP trifecta during this period solidified his place among the game's all-time greats. However, as the wins piled up, so did the tension. The relationship between Shaq and Kobe began to unravel. Both players had immense talent and egos to match, leading to conflicts both on and off the court. Despite the turmoil, their on-court synergy remained undeniable, but by 2003, cracks in the dynasty became evident. The Lakers fell short of a 4th straight title, losing to San Antonio Spurs in the playoffs. The following year, a star-studded Lakers roster featuring Karl Malone and Gary Payton was dismantled in the finals by the Detroit Pistons. After the 2004 finals loss, the Lakers faced a pivotal decision. Ownership chose to build around Kobe Bryant, and Shaq was traded to the Miami Heat. The breakup marked the end of one of basketball's most iconic duos. Though their partnership ended, Shaq and Kobe's legacy as a duo remains unparalleled. Together, they achieved a level of dominance that few teams in NBA history have ever matched. Shaquille O'Neal's time with the Lakers was the pinnacle of his career. It was a period defined by unparalleled dominance, championship glory, and the complicated yet unforgettable bond between 2 of the greatest players the world has ever seen. By 2004, Shaquille O'Neal's departure from the Los Angeles Lakers marked the end of an era. However, for Shaq, it wasn't the end of his championship aspirations at all. Traded to the Miami Heat, Shaq joined a franchise hungry for success and a young star named Dwayne Wade, ready to make his mark on the league. Shaq arrived in Miami with a singular focus: to deliver the Heat their first NBA championship. His sheer dominance in the paint, coupled with Wade's fantastic skill set, made the Heat an instant contender. In his first season with the Heat, Shaq averaged 22.9 points and 10.4 rebounds per game, leading the team to an impressive 59-23 record, the best in franchise history at that point. His impact was undeniable, earning him an All-NBA first-team selection and finishing second in MVP voting. The Heat made a strong playoff run in 2005, but injuries and a hard-fought series against the Detroit Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals cut their dreams short. Despite this setback, Shaq promised the Miami faithful that the championship was only a matter of time. In the 2005-2006 season, Shaq and the Heat came back with renewed focus, bolstered by the key acquisitions including Antoine Walker, Jason Williams, and Gary Payton. The team's depth complemented the star power of Shaq and Wade. Shaq, though no longer in his physical prime, adapted his game to remain a force in the league. His scoring slightly dipped, but his leadership and defensive presence were crucial in shaping Miami's identity. The 2006 playoffs became a proving ground for the Heat. After overcoming early challengers, Miami found themselves once again facing the Detroit Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. This time, Shaq and Wade refused to be denied. The Heat defeated Detroit in 6 games, earning a spot in the NBA Finals for the first time in franchise history. Their opponents, the Dallas Mavericks, led by Dirk Nowitzki, and a deep supporting cast. The 2006 NBA Finals began horribly for the Heat, with Dallas winning the first 2 games convincingly. Critics questioned whether Shaq and Wade could rise to the occasion, but what followed was one of the most remarkable turnarounds in NBA history. Shaq provided a commanding presence in the paint, drawing double teams and creating opportunities for his teammates. Meanwhile, Wade delivered a performance for the ages, averaging 34.7 points per game and earning Finals MVP honors. The Heat won 4 straight games to clinch the series, giving Miami its first NBA championship. For Shaq, it was a moment of redemption. He had delivered on his promise, proving he could win outside of Los Angeles. Shaq's role in Miami's title run was both pivotal and symbolic. He wasn't the dominant force of his Lakers days, but his presence and leadership were instrumental in guiding a young team to the pinnacle of the sport. The years following the championship were less kind to Shaq and the Heat. Injuries began to take their toll, limiting Shaq's production and availability. The Heat's performance declined sharply, and midway through the 2007-2008 season, Shaq was traded to the Phoenix Suns. Shaq's time in Miami may have been brief, but its impact was lasting. His arrival transformed the franchise, his leadership inspired a championship culture, and his partnership with Dwayne Wade gave basketball fans memories to last a lifetime. With 4 championships to his name, Shaquille O'Neal had solidified his place as one of the greatest centers in NBA history. But his journey wasn't over quite yet. By the late 2000s, the once unstoppable Shaquille O'Neal was nearing the twilight of his NBA career. Injuries, age, and the wear and tear of dominating the league for over a decade began to take their toll. But even in his final years, Shaq's presence remained larger than life, both on and off the court. In February 2008, Shaq was traded from the Miami Heat to the Phoenix Suns. The move was controversial, as many questioned how a slowing O'Neal would fit into Phoenix's fast-paced run-and-gun offense. However, Shaq's arrival brought a new dynamic to the Suns. During his time in Phoenix, Shaq adapted his role, focusing more on defense and rebounding, while providing a leadership to the team led by Steve Nash. In the 2008-2009 season, he even earned his 15th and final All-Star selection, proving he still had something left in the tank. Despite flashes of brilliance, the Suns' postseason struggles persisted. After an early playoff exit, Shaq was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2009, joining forces with LeBron James and a bid for another championship. Shaq's time in Cleveland was marked by both hope and frustration. While he provided size and experience to a team with championship aspirations, injuries limited his contribution. The Cavaliers fell short in the playoffs, and Shaq's championship window seemed to be closing. In 2010, Shaq signed with the Boston Celtics, hoping to add one more final to his fantastic career. As a member of the Celtics, he embraced a reduced role, providing veteran leadership to a team filled with stars like Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen. Unfortunately, injuries plagued Shaq throughout the season. Limiting his impact, the Celtics fell short in the playoffs, and after the 2010-2011 season, Shaquille O'Neal announced his retirement from professional basketball. Shaq retired as one of the most decorated players in NBA history. His accolades included 4 championships, 3 final MVPs, and a regular season MVP, 15 All-Star appearances, and countless memories etched into the hearts of basketball fans. But retirement didn't mean stepping out of the spotlight for Shaquille O'Neal. In many ways, it marked the beginning of a new chapter. From business ventures to television and personal growth, Shaq's post-playing career was as dynamic as his time on the court. One of Shaq's most prominent roles was an analyst on TNT's Inside the NBA, joining Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, and Kenny Smith. Shaq brought his unique blend of humor, insight, and larger-than-life personality to the show. Shaq's presence on the show elevated it to must-watch television. His play for banter with Barkley and his willingness to poke fun at himself were truly amazing. In 2020, Shaq and the basketball world faced an unimaginable loss, the tragic passing of Kobe Bryant. For Shaq, the news was devastating. Though the relationship had its ups and downs, Shaq and Kobe shared a bond forged in championship glory. Shaq's heartfelt tributes reminded fans of the deep respect and love he had for his former teammate. Despite the challenges and losses, Shaq continued to find joy and purpose in his post-playing life. His infectious humor, tireless work ethic, and commitment to helping others made him a role model and a beloved figure worldwide. Shaquille O'Neal's journey from a dominant force on the court to an influential icon is a testament to his unparalleled charisma, resilience, and heart. He remains, as he's always been, larger than life, and possibly the most dominant player in NBA history.